Okay, folks, so I've been a long time YouTube watcher. Um, been practicing a lot of what I do watch on YouTube. This is the very first time, however, that I've ever documented any of my own work on YouTube or in video format. Talk about it a lot with people, show them what I've got, but I've never gone any further than that. So today I thought, you know what, it's time to share a little bit of what I've been up to for the past 7 years and let you guys get a glimpse into how we run our homestead here. What you're looking at here is the chicken coop. It was put up 5 years ago. It has metal siding, a metal door, and it has a run that we built off the side. What I think is kind of unique about our chicken coop is where the chickens come out of the actual coop into the run area. Part of the run has a roof on it. So that way, if it's pouring rain or it's snowing out, they're still able to be semi-protected from the elements, still be able to come outside into the run area without actually getting wet or getting too cold. You can see some of my girls down there. I have a lot of different chickens in there, so several different breeds. But it's completely covered on the outside with lath, which is a real rigid metal that's used a lot like in masonry work. And we found that while it'll kill your hands when you're working with it, it does a really good job of protecting the run area from any varmints. We also run it along the entire bottom, so it actually runs out from the bottom of the coop and all the way around the bottom of the chicken's run, completely surrounding for about, it comes out about 3 feet or so. And we originally we just put some wood chips on top of it to kind of hold it down in place, and then we allowed the grass to grow up through it and create a mat, and we just basically run the lawnmower right on over it now. But it does a really nice job of keeping the chickens safe. I used to let them free range most of the time, and a couple of years ago I lost quite a few, about 11, to a fox and her babies. I mean, it was the spring and she was teaching them how to hunt, and it's just nature, but made me a little gun shy about letting them just wander. So from that point on, the run became their primary outside residence. Just, you know, sooner or later I'll probably let them out again, and like I said, just a little gun shy to do it. So next to the coop, I'll just span around here to the back. I'm going all the way around to the back side of the coop. You can see we've got some dead pine trees here, some actually Christmas trees. And I'm just going to span this way so you guys can see the big pile of Christmas trees from this past Christmas. We go around and we pick them up when people throw them on the side of the road, and we bring them back, we let them dry out, and then we chip them into small pine chips, and that's what we use for the inside of the chicken coop. A little labor intensive, but basically free bedding, so they're getting thrown away anyway. We might as well repurpose them the best we can. So let me go back this way. Okay, so next to the coop, so there's the back side of the coop and the back side of the part of the run that is actually protected from the elements. This way, sorry about the airplane, guys. Okay, so over here we have our garden shed. Looks kind of big from here, but it's because I'm below it, so I'm kind of panning upward, so it makes it look much larger than it actually is. But here is my garden shed, and this has a Ondura roof, and it has what's called hardy plank or cement board siding. We tried to make it as maintenance free as we could without using vinyl and things like that, which tend to get brittle over time and have to be replaced. As you can see next to it, we've got a set of containers, which are a water catchment system, that come off of the one side of the garden shed with the gutter, and the gutter goes into the water catchment system and fills up the tanks. And then my husband rigged it with kind of an elaborate little piping mechanism so that as the top ones fill, we can open up the valves and get those down into the lower ones, and so on and so forth. They're pretty full right now because we've had a very wet spring. So that's that. I also wanted to show you the garden area. So again, I'm a little too close, but here's part of the garden. It is about 48 feet long by 52 foot wide, so it's good size and it serves its purpose for us. So I'm just going to stand back here a little bit because I want to show you along here. This is actually a small raised bed that goes over quite a span of it, I think about 32 feet, that we built. It's about 2.5 feet wide, and it's made of Trex decking, which was left over from when we put the deck on our porch. So we didn't want it to go to waste, so my husband made a raised bed out of it in part of the garden. This comes in very handy. I'm just going to open the door here, and as you can see, actually I'm going to show you this. This is dog kennel. So we utilized some dog kennel that we had found on Craigslist, and this part here has a gate in it, so we utilized this for part of the garden. Just part of it, but it comes in handy for a gate mechanism. So I'm just going to turn around here so I can sort of show you the raised bed. So here's the raised bed. It's about 18 inches high. Like I said, it goes all the way across there. It's about 32 feet or so. This is excellent for my garlic. Every year I grow my garlic in here. So there's my garlic plants. So you can see all of those. I'm just going to walk along here. I'm sorry if I'm making you dizzy. Like I said, this is my first attempt at this, and I'm trying to show you without getting too in depth in any of this. And as I go along, maybe I'll elaborate on certain areas of the garden. This is all onions. They're through here. I have new onions for this year, and I also have some that I overwintered. You can see the seed pods starting. So those I will save the seeds for next year. Intermingled in here, I also have some pepper plants. Let me see if I can get down there nice and close. Show you. There's my little baby. So there's one of my pepper plants. I believe I have 5 pepper plants in here. But because the onions and the garlic take up a lot of space, all this here, these are all potatoes that are volunteer potatoes. They came up from a couple of years ago when I had just some fingerling potatoes in there, and obviously I missed some, and they keep coming back. Even though I dig them out every year, they keep coming back. So must be I'm not very good at finding all of the fingerlings to get those out of there. I can't bring myself to pull them out because, free potatoes as far as I'm concerned. So I let them grow up. So this is basically the inside of the garden. I'm going to show you here. We decided a long time ago that using cattle panel with some 7-foot T-posts gave us so much vertical space to grow in that it saved a lot of the garden floor for some of the bigger items like your broccoli, which is some is right there and it goes all the way back. So your broccoli and your cauliflower and your Brussels sprouts and all of those, the zucchini and squashes, those all grow basically on the floor, the main floor of the garden. And we utilize all of these posts with cow panel for peas, beans, any of those. The cucumbers grow on there. So a lot of anything that will grow up, basically we utilize the vertical to grow those up. So we've got a ton of peas in this year, and they're doing quite well. So I've got a mix of in one half of the garden, all of the trellising is used for edible pods. On the other side of the garden over here, it's all used for sweet peas that we can store for the winter. we can eat them, but we can store them for the winter. One thing that we tried last year and it worked quite well, and we're going to modify it a little bit for this year, is we took 2 sections of cattle panel, and I'm going to kind of stand in between them here. 2 sections of cattle panel, and we put all of the tomatoes in between them. So these are 16-foot sections, so there's 32 feet here of tomatoes. And what we did is, you can see the T-posts are up. Last year we put the T-posts about 15 inches apart. And quite honestly, the tomatoes were so squished between the 2 sections of the cattle panel, it really was a little bit more difficult to harvest. They were really kind of crammed in there. So this year we decided that we would go 24 inches out, give them a little bit more space. So I tried to center the tomatoes within that 24 inches between the 2 sections of cattle panel. That helps keep them vertical, and it also allows me to not have to worry about tying them up, you know, because they get quite heavy, especially when the fruit comes on. And so sandwiching between these makes it quite easy, and it's very easy. I'll show you here. Just stick your hand, see that? I'm sticking my hand right through these sections of paneling to be able to harvest the fruit. So there's no trying to cram my hand in and not being able to reach. Those give plenty of space. Let's see if I can, so you can see, I think it's about a 4x4 or a 6x6. So you can really get your hands in there to harvest. So that was something that was also important, is to be able to not have to take anything down to harvest. So this is my first section of the video. I'm going to stop it here because it's getting a little lengthy, but I kind of wanted to show you how the garden is set up. Here's another section where we've got posts up and we've got the cow panel across there so that we can grow on it. And then where we're looking right through here, this is where zucchini and squash are living right now. And we've got another section of the garden where I have like cabbage and those types of things growing. So I'm going to stop it here. Any questions? Put them in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them as I go along. Thanks guys. Bye.